Some years ago, there was a terrorist incident in the land of Israel. Palestinian terrorists took a donkey and strapped onto the donkey explosives, and then sent the donkey in the direction of a bus. The donkey exploded and was killed, but thankfully no human beings were harmed in this incident. After that, Arafat received a letter from PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. And the letter said words to the effect that, Mr. President, you can continue your battle and your activities, but please leave innocent animals out of it. Don't bring donkeys or other animals into a conflict between human beings. This letter raised enormous controversy. People said, how could they send such a letter? Where was their compassion for human beings? It was almost as if they were giving the go-ahead, the green flag. Continue with your terrorist war, but just please don't bring animals into it. And the question is, can you go too far with animal rights? I remember several years ago, a lady who worked for the Kidney Dialysis Organization speaking to me about collecting funds at a fete. There was a fete, there were a whole lot of different charitable organizations. She had a table there. She was collecting money so that people could be saved through dialysis. And close to her were a number of different welfare organizations for animals with cute little puppies. And she said that far more people were going to those organizations and donating charity than to the kidney dialysis charity. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes taking the rights of animals goes a little bit too far. Let's have a look at this from the point of view of this week's parsha. We have a mitzvah. The Torah says you are not allowed to slaughter an animal and its child on the same day. So you're having a big meal, you need a lot of meat, you need a lot of beef, so you take a cow and you slaughter her. You are not allowed to slaughter the child on the same day, or vice versa. And Rambam, Maimonides, gives an interesting explanation for this in his book, The Guide to the Perplexed. And he says it's because even dumb animals have a feeling, a connection towards their children. And therefore it's considered to be cruel that you should slaughter the child in the presence of the mother. He says this also about the mitzvah of Shiluach HaKan. If you come across a bird's nest, and there are eggs or chicks, and the mother bird is there, and you want to take the chicks or the eggs, you have to first shoo away the mother bird. It can't be there while you take the chicks away, or the eggs, because, again, the Rambam says, the similar notion. Even animals, such as birds, have got a certain sense of a connection to their young, and it would be considered cruel to take it. Nachmanides, however, has a completely different approach to the Rambam. And he says this has got nothing to do with the animals. Animals really have no rights in Jewish law whatsoever. But it has to do with you, the human being. Because if you do things like this, if you slaughter a baby child in front of its mother, or you take the baby bird away from the mother, it turns you into a cruel person. And that's what we're trying to avoid. It has nothing to do with the animals. It's about your responsibilities, not the rights of the animal. And this is how Judaism views it. Yes, we have a concept called Tsa'ar Balei Chaim. You're not allowed to cause pain and suffering to animals unnecessarily. But that's not because the animal has a right, as a human being does. It's because you have a responsibility towards it. If people would focus on this difference, then they would have their priorities in order. That yes, we have to give our ultimate priorities to human beings. They have rights, 100% rights. But we have responsibility towards human beings first, and then only afterwards to animals. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.